boxing, but a first-round knockout is something else entirely. We've seen plenty of them over the years, but the ones on this list are in a completely different category. These are the brutally one-sided, completely merciless, should have never been aired on television first-round knockouts that boxing somehow let happen in front of a live audience. Let's get into it.
And now, oh, that's surely it!
Bowie Tupo came into this fight aggressively, walking forward with the kind of confidence that only makes sense if you have absolutely no idea what Joseph Parker's right hand is capable of. And unfortunately for Tupo, he was about to receive that information in the most direct way possible.
I'm sure they've been trying. Here we go, he hit his range.
Boom! He was coming in and he ducked and he got him right on top of the
forehead.
Hector Avila was the more experienced fighter coming into this one, which sounds reassuring on paper, until you realize that the person he was walking towards was a 24-year-old Anthony Joshua, who was still early in his career and already throwing punches that had absolutely no business being that heavy on a human being.
Joshua, right hand, and he doesn't travel well. This is his 10th fight out. Joshua just taking his time, measuring him up.
His concentration is good, his technique is good, and he's a lovely puncher.
The first round, the Argentinian. And Joshua senses it and goes to work. And he's gone. And I don't think he wants any part of this. He's moved it away and he's not getting up. He had no interest.
I wonder maybe if there's some damage been done there, but that was a decent punch.
Shock on his face there as he landed.
Anthony Joshua!
Ellis Zorro spent nearly 3 minutes being composed, staying technical, and doing everything a smart fighter is supposed to do in the opening round against the dangerous Jai Opetaia.
The crowd sensing that left hand more detonated. Yes.
Waiting in the background, like a patient man with a very bad left hook, Opetaia had absolutely no intention of leaving Riyadh without using it.
Against the orthodox really too far. Single shot.
The feint downstairs, the eyes, the jab to the body that doesn't come, and then the left hand upstairs. You got the reaction.
Jai Opetaia!
Alejandro Valdez came into this fight for the WBC Youth Silver title, which sounds like a meaningful opportunity until Roach Jr. opened the fight by immediately treating him like a crash test dummy in an experiment that nobody agreed to conduct quite this aggressively.
As I said, at Bantamweight, 6 through 2009, 80 fighters.
Good uppercut by Roach, drops Valdez here in the first round.
Valdez got up, which was brave, and then immediately got knocked down again with a brutal body shot.
Oh, another body shot drops him here, and it is over. A first round KO for Roach Jr.
So this is, it's a great confidence booster for a 21-year-old prospect like Roach Jr.
Saw Roach Jr. look good here in the opening round.
Francisco Fonseca walked into the Honda Center on Valentine's Day 2020, which in hindsight was already a bad sign, because Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love and Frazier barely downloaded the fight when the free trial expired. 30 seconds in, Tyson hit uninstall on his whole evening.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt. Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look, and he's going to stop the fight. And the good news is, I believe Marvis Frazier is standing up. There's a big crowd in that corner of the ring. Mike Tyson is going back over there now. We'll take another look after you finish seeing this third replay of the very quick knockout.
Michael Moorer was a former heavyweight champion of the world, a man who had shared the ring with Evander Holyfield and George Foreman, a legitimate elite-level heavyweight with serious credentials and a professional record that commanded respect. and David Tua looked at all of that and decided that 30 seconds was more than enough time to deal with it. Tua just immediately rushed forward like a man who had somewhere else to be and had already mentally allocated 30 seconds to this particular task.
Gets in 2 body punches early. The ribcage of Moore, and down goes Moore.
He's not moving at all. It's over with.
And that's what makes David Tua David Tua. There's a hard right hand by Tua. Yeah, swept it a little, you're right.
And Moore didn't even see it.
Conor Benn was fighting on the undercard of Anthony Joshua at the O2 Arena in London. Benn responded to the atmosphere by coming out of his corner and immediately behaving like a man who had been personally offended by Lucas Radic's mere presence in the ring.
Shots there and got himself out of range. Fast hands as well there.
Because it's been
and Ricky Burns, three-weight world champion in Glasgow. Oh, he knows it. And then follow up with a left hook and down goes Roach. Inside around. That'll do it. I don't think he's getting up from that. That was a very heavy knockout indeed.
The punch as it landed, bang, there it was.
Didn't bother with a count and the doctor was straight in, he knew. And that could have been a nasty one.
Trent Broadhurst spent 3 full minutes in Monte Carlo doing everything right, staying composed, trying to keep it competitive against a world champion. And with the bell about to save him, Dimitri Bivol threw a straight right hand so clean and so perfectly placed on Broadhurst's chin. AJ Carter showed up to the Copper Box Arena in London to fight Daniel Dubois for the WBC World Youth Heavyweight title. And we want to give him full credit for that decision, because stepping into a heavyweight ring requires genuine courage and commitment.
He'll be looking to spear him. Oh my goodness, first!
And it is absolutely not his fault that nobody had sat him down beforehand and properly explained what Daniel Dubois' fists feel like when they make contact with a human head.
He's looking to put him away again in this opening round, and he goes out for a second time carefully. And now, oh, that's surely it! Massive right hand and a colossal right hand from Daniel Dubois.
Temple, but this is the big one. Crack. That's a hell of a shot right on the point of the chin.
Sergey Liakhovich was a former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, a man with 25 professional wins and 16 knockouts of his own, and also, unfortunately, does absolutely nothing to protect your chin from Deontay Wilder's right hand, which operates completely independently of how impressive your credentials are.
2008. By the way, Liakhovich 181 rounds.
Going to the body, and he wants to do that. Wilder, there's a right hand, drives Liakhovich into the ropes. Down he goes. And it's over. You're okay. You're okay.
And then once Liakhovich went to the ropes, that was it. And look at Liakhovich's reaction. Look at his left and right, his feet.
The Bronze Bomber, Wilder!
Adeleye came out of his corner like a man who had looked at the fight contract, seen that it said 6 rounds, and decided that was far too many rounds, and that one would be more than sufficient for what he had planned.
Making his debut, John, that's,
VST here tonight. Jaw of Preston by distance.
It's a very big, explosive puncher, trying to keep side and... Oh, what a left up to the body that was.
Sure he is. It's all over with the first big punch that's landed.
Oh, terrific shot that was, and just literally fainted with that right hand.
David Adeleye!
Ken Norton was a former heavyweight champion of the world, a man who had broken Muhammad Ali's jaw in a fight. This was not a man who was easily hurt or easily stopped. And then Ernie Shavers walked out in Las Vegas and broke him down in 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Shavers tries to take off on him. Norton covers well. See Kenny? That's his strategy. Crowd yelled at Norton in effect. Get a left in there. Oh, Norton's in trouble. Shavers scored heavily with a left. Get a left in there. Oh, Norton's in trouble. Shavers scored heavily with a left. The first knockdown. scored in the... There goes Norton again. Bill Blaine has stopped the fight. A stunning first-round knockout of Benny Norton.
If you enjoyed watching this video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing boxing content.